is set to begin zero tariff trade with China by the end of October 2025, following the discussion of ongoing negotiations between the two countries. President John Dramani Mahama announced the developments at the Presidential Investment Forum in Beijing, calling it a major boost for Ghana's exports and industrial sector. He praised China's move as a show of solidarity, noting it will open significant opportunities for Ghanaian exporters, agro-processors and manufacturers. An agreement in principle has already been reached and final details expected to be concluded before month end. The deal is part of China's broader plan to extend zero tariff access to all 53 African countries, aiming to strengthen economic and diplomatic ties while promoting fairer global trade for the continent.
Between 2020 and 2024, China's exports to Ghana rose by nearly 46%, while Ghana's exports to China increased by over 11%. China's decision to grant zero tariff access to Ghanaian and African products signals the confidence in our partnership. It opens vast new markets for Ghanaian exporters, agro-processors, and manufacturers. And I'm happy to inform you that we reached agreement in principle and we have targeted the end of October to be able to sign off on the zero tariff principle. I wish to commend the government of China for this act of solidarity. We are all aware that the multilateral rules-based trading system is being upended by unilateral slapping of tariffs on different countries. This is a time for us to solidarize and to come together, and this initiative by China is very timely.
So that's the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I've been joined on the phone by tax experts, Mr. Oting Amwako. Mr. Amwako, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time on 505.
Good evening, my dear brother.
Well, now, first of all, what are the immediate tax implications for Ghanaian exporters under this zero tariff agreement with China, as outlined by President John Mahama?
Yes, I believe the exporters will be happy because whoever is doing business aims at making a good profit. So far as taxes related to their exports are taken up, it means that their profit margin is going to increase. And obviously they will be happy with that.
Well, how will zero tariff affect Ghana's custom revenue and government tax income as well? Because that's also another conversation as far as the growth of the economy is concerned.
Yes, obviously, so far as the taxes that they are supposed to pay on the exports are taken out, it means that government revenue will be affected greatly. And when it happens, so maybe unless or with the government policy, government is looking at a different avenue of raising money, or government is looking at a different avenue of cutting down some of its expenditure items, or not undertaking some of the projects that the government wants to take. So in as much as this policy has its advantages, on the contrary, it's going to affect our revenue generation base, which means that we are to receive less revenue. And then government will not be able to execute some of the budgetary items in the budget due to the revenue shortfalls as a result of these zero tariffs, which will have some negative implications on our income generation with the state.
If you are to recommend one key thing to governments or the policymakers, what would that recommendation be? Because we need to look at the alternative for governments as far as cushioning the economy is concerned, because we talked about it affecting revenue generation in the country.
This policy looks sweety, but it has a long-term implication in the sense that if we are not careful with such sweetness in the Chinese policy, it will definitely going to affect us, and because the items being imported here are tax-free, it will get to a time that productivity in Ghana will reduce and most of our items are going to be imported. And when it happens, so it affects our ability to create job opportunities. And the more people have jobs, they pay taxes. The more people are engaged in activities, it creates the avenue for the government to raise more taxes from it. So the fact that the items are coming, taxes are taken off, with time, Ghanaians will be more interested in importing than we producing items ourselves. And the more we are focusing on import without looking at how to create jobs for our people, the unemployment situation could escalate. And obviously, as unemployment is increasing, the effect is that our chances of getting the necessary revenue from the payers who earn and others may also not be there. So we have to look at the policy very well, because it has the potency to affect our economy, to affect our financial base in the long run, rather than the shorter period.
I see. In what ways can the Ghanaian manufacturer and agro processors best leverage the zero tariff access to the Chinese markets?
Yes. Ghanaian manufacturers, definitely some raw materials may also come in that form. But the way the process has been, it's going to give the Ghanaian manufacturer a very hectic time. It's going to give the Ghanaian manufacturer a very great competition. And if we are not careful with time, we will not be able to compete. Even with their subsidy, when the items come, they look cheaper than what we do locally. So now that this policy is coming, it means that imported items are going to be more cheaper, which will make the Ghanaian producer very difficult to compete. So I believe government must also look at a way that, as this policy is coming to place, a way of leveraging or a way of supporting the local production base, so that they will be able to withstand the external pressures that is coming from China's productivity. If not, going forward, the possibility that the productivity sector in our country is likely to reduce, or is likely to move out of the system because of these challenges they may face from the exporting of items to the country.
Before I let you go, what measures should Ghana Revenue Authority, because you talked about decrease or decline in revenue generation, what measures should Ghana Revenue Authority and other agencies put in place to ensure compliance and proper monitoring system of this trade agreement?
Yes, to talk about policies to put in place, the policies are already in place. Our challenge as a state has been our inability to enforce the law. We have all the good laws in place. For instance, all these importers, when they come, they sell to people, then as they sell to people, they are supposed to, the withholding taxes and all the other payments that is associated with it. We have a situation whereby many people are doing business in Ghana, they are not paying the taxes, some are not paying the required taxes, and all these things is affecting our financial base. And therefore, to me, I am with the view that as this policy is coming and a direct way through the port to take these taxes are no more there, we have to look at our internal generation basis and look at the weaknesses that is making many people not to be paying the taxes.
Okay.
We have to deal with these challenges in our local system. For instance, at the market, those who have gone to purchase the things they are going to sell, they are supposed to pay their taxes. Many are not paying taxes. The necessary rules governing it in terms of revenue generations are not being followed. So the Ghana Revenue Authority must go back and re-look at the aspect. Are losing big here. How do we also ensure that we generate money from the items that have come through other taxes that are supposed to be paid, both direct and indirect taxes. And as they are also importing more, it means that companies that deal in these distributions and others, they are going to increase their staff. They are going to increase their base. And as they increase their base, definitely their tax liabilities will also go high. Being the people they employ, being the services they provide. And therefore, this is where we need to also look at that base to ensure that the state is receiving the expected taxes from these activities.
I see. Well, Mr. Marco, let me thank you for your time this evening. That's a tax expert, Oting Amwako, helping us in this conversation. Let me still stay on the line and speak to an economist and a senior lecturer in accounting and finance at the Sunyani Technical University, Oseko Kuchia. Mr. Chia, good evening to you. I'm grateful for your time on 505.
Good evening.